So once again proving that Marvel actually doesn't have an overarching plan and haven't had one for some time, Marvel Studios reportedly only chose Kang as the multiverse saga villain after Jonathan Majors received positive buzz over being in the Loki series. Right. Well, that's terrible, isn't it? And this is one of many elements over the last, it's got to be a couple of years now, that we keep hearing that Marvel literally releases a movie, kind of sees what the reaction's like, and then goes, yeah, okay, no. Or, oh, actually, that's a good direction, we'll just go in that. Not realising, or at least failing to have the foresight to acknowledge and even entertain the thought that maybe, you know, there are circumstantial elements why certain movies do particularly well over others, or why certain characters are particularly well received over certain others within certain time periods, certain economic factors that are going on, certain just general hype for the franchise going on. Yeah, they're just throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks, and it's just very, very unfortunate. It's a shame. It's a shame. But it is interesting how that illusion of what Marvel Studios was about, we have this plan, we're going to do this, this, and this, and this. And I guess it kind of makes some sense as to why there are only post-credit scenes tacked on to the end of movies here and there. Well, we'll chuck this in here. We'll see what people think about it. Oh, they're hyped. Oh, we'll do it again on the next one. See if it maintains that hype. I'm guessing that's a certain element of why the post-credit scene is a thing. Because again, what adds credence to that rumour of why they do post-credits as a barometer, a test for individuals to see what people want. Think back to the Eternals, and you had the Kit Harington, I can't remember his character, Black Knight I think it was, and Blade cameo. But no one cared. No one cared about the movie, and certainly no one cared about the post-credit scene. Wasn't exciting at all. And guess who's been cut from Blade? Yeah, Kit Harington. So I definitely think there's something in that, is that they were actively using post-credit scenes to test the waters. Anyway, check this out. So, for all of Marvel Studios' promotion of Kang the Conqueror as their shared cinematic universe's next big bad, it seems that the decision to feature him in that role was only made after the villain's actor Jonathan Majors received positive buzz for his portrayal of multiversal villain Kang the Conqueror in Loki. Although he wasn't really Kang, he was He Who Remains, wasn't he? So this all comes to us from MCU, the Reign of Marvel Studios. And that's interesting. Originally, the insight into Marvel's ongoing scramble. So it was with Joanna Robinson, Dave Gonzalez, and Gavin Edwards. So they all did this. It's not just Joanna Robinson, although she's the one that's been making the headlines lately, appearing on podcasts and things. So speaking to the studio's decision to begin heavily relying on the multiverse as a narrative tool, the authors recalled how the concept's MCU debut in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness opened up new possibilities for storytelling, however, and new avenues for fan service. Multiverse of Madness featured not only the all-star Illuminati with John Krasinski and Patrick Stewart, but 4 different versions of Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. Marvel Studios believed that audiences could follow complicated contingency timelines without comic book style explanatory captions and tried not to abuse that trust. So they would provide a brief recap for readers. Robinson, Gonzalez and Edwards then explained phases 1, 2 and 3 of the MCU had been collectively known as the Infinity Saga. Phases 4, 5 and 6 were dubbed the Multiverse Saga and noted that the saga's antagonist introduced in Loki as He Who Remains and then showcased in the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania was the time-travelling Kang, a character who had so many different versions and iterations in Marvel Comics that writers and fans had long ago given up on keeping them all straight. So having finally botched the specific topic of Kang himself, the authors then revealed that according to one Marvel source, Kang was not originally intended to be the overarching villain of the multiverse saga. And we've heard this before. The decision to elevate him to a Thanos-level threat was based on the positive buzz actor Jonathan Majors generated in the role. And this also goes some way, sort of corresponding to this as well, is when the showrunner of Secret Invasion came out and was like, yeah, we only did this because people wanted to see an interaction between Nick Fury and, was it Talos again? That's it. That's the only reason. That's the only reason that was done. No overarching plan, guys. Disney flexed its marketing muscles for Kang's cinematic debut, hoping to get as many eyes as possible on Major's performance and to hype 2 post-credit sequences promoting his central role in both Loki and film. So they detailed in the closing moments of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania thousands of versions of Kang crowded an arena. All of them wore the face of Jonathan Majors, not since Robert Downey Jr. had the studio place so many chips on one actor. Well, that was dumb. So obviously the bet itself was risky. Marvel's confidence in their new main antagonist was boosted by the fact that although the reviews for Quantumania were woeful and its box office dropped by 69%, phrasing, in its second weekend of release, setting a dismal new record for Marvel Studios, Majors seemed immune to criticism. His performance was lauded as the highlight of the movie and the de facto future of the MCU. His performance was the best part of the movie, but it doesn't mean that it's a standout performance. It's a standout amongst bad performances. So although he was good in it, you know, they didn't really give him too much to do. Like, they could have made him significantly better direction, to be fair. So of course, as fans and the authors of MCU, the reign of Marvel Studios, now know, Marvel's plans for Kang ran into a major roadblock because, of course, he had loads of charges put against him. So the trio's recollection of the situation, suddenly Marvel's safest bet for its future became its latest dilemma. And then they haven't really revealed anything else. But it's more the interesting factor that they just keep making it up as they go along. I mean, that's the problem here, isn't it? To me, anyway. I think there's a certain element where you should be able to pivot, absolutely. But this sort of illusion that they've presented themselves as, yeah, no, we control all of this, we're the arbiters of this, and it's this grand plan, I'm spinning a web around us all, is a complete farce. It's not true remotely. And you know what? It actually goes some way to explaining why their budgets are so monumentally high, because they do shoot things on the fly, and a lot of it is just fix it in post, you know, essentially write the film in the edit bay as well. And it's nonsense, absolute nonsense. So there you go, ladies and gents. Marvel's decline. It's funny, isn't it? It all comes from a book called The Reign of the MCU. Yeah. Or MCU, The Reign of Marvel Studios. And that reign is definitely coming to an end.